For my learning service, I was at Warren County High School with Miss Jessica Kelly. We served the 9th through 12th graders with autism in an atmosphere that was very accepting and laid back so the students were able to learn and be productive and weren't overwhelmed. Some things that I observed were that some days would go great and other days were harder, and many of the students wouldn't talk to me because I was new there and it was different for them. One of the scariest things that happened was the first day we went to a pep rally, and when we left, a student fell to the ground because his ears hurt and his brain was shaky. This left me scared because I didn't know how to react, but Miss Kelly quickly redirected him in a positive way, which I learned from. It was interesting to see the connections to the readings. It was an all-boy class, and according to the readings, boys are 5 times as likely to have autism to girls. Some behaviors matched as well. Some would clap their hands and jump around, and some would repeat what they heard on TV. The main thing that was different to me is that the students spent all day in a separate classroom rather than in a general classroom, when in the readings said that they should be mainstream as much as possible, like they are for gym and theater. Some insights that I gained were interaction that they can appreciate and access to great websites like GoNoodle and Education.com. An interest I learned about was brain breaks. It's when students can get up and move around instead of sitting in a desk all day, which is hard for me to do at age 22. A new skill I learned was how to handle tough situations, like a difficult teacher not understanding how one of our students was trying to communicate with her and the other students. He was singing and speaking in Spanish, which is his first language, so we had a meeting on how to handle things more effectively for the teacher and the rest of the students. Something that surprised me was how well some of the students can read, and how they have to do chores every day, like vacuuming, doing dishes, and doing laundry. And after they were finished with their chores, they would earn rewards that they could spend on special snacks and movies on Fridays. My experience was different than what I anticipated because I was so nervous the first day. But I got to do a lot more than what I thought, and it was harder than what I expected. I didn't realize all the steps that were taken to get ready for a day. The incidents that occurred mean a lot to me. They helped me grow as a teacher and how I should react and not react to make something worse. At first, I didn't know how to respond to a situation, but as the days went on, I learned what to say to the students to de-stress a problem and help them work through it. I also learned that how you react will be make or break for them. I liked that I got to work with Miss Kelly. She was so professional and helpful. Something that I didn't like was no matter how hard I tried, some of the students didn't want me there. I understand that it wasn't me as a person, but because I was a change that they weren't used to. When I entered the service location, I was nervous because I had never done something like this before, but when I had left, I had a higher confidence level and know that I could walk into any classroom with my head held high, ready for the day. Some skills that I can apply to my future are how to handle tough situations and characteristics in a student with disabilities like autism. I will act differently because I've seen firsthand how to take a bad day and turn it into a good one, and I will be thinking differently by not being so quick to underestimate one's abilities. Success of this project was due to great administration. If a student was having a bad day, they were always welcome to go talk to administration and hang out for a little bit. Things that hinder success in projects like this were the general education teachers were difficult to work with sometimes. And for me, my availability was only on Fridays, which were reinforcement days for positive behavior throughout the week. So students were able to watch a movie, but didn't do much academically. There were a lot of things that I learned during this experience. One of them was how to use the smartboard for interactive games and for reading. Another was to never underestimate the students and what they are capable of. And I can apply this learning for when I become a special education teacher and how to help someone get through a rough day and how to deal with everyday challenges. Another thing I would like to learn more about is the grading process for special ed, if they pass or fail, and what exactly goes into the grade book. One stereotype that I unfortunately had were students in the resource room couldn't do things like the other students could. I also assumed that this project was going to be a walk in the park, and it wasn't. There were times that no student would listen to me and they would annoy each other, and overall it was a bad experience sometimes. But these students with disabilities are just like any other student. Some things that I learned about myself is that I have more patience than what I thought. I also learned that I am strong enough to calm down a hard situation, and I learned that I am meant to be a special education teacher.
Created using Powtoon.